Okay, we need to get fucking on track. Anyways, school has started. It's day 3. Give it up for day 3. That's exactly how I feel. Like, that episode of SpongeBob. Like, it's when they're, like, the Krusty Krab is running 24/7. And so on day 3, they're absolutely losing their minds. That is exactly how I feel. I feel like we are running 24/7. Yeah. 24 hours a day.
No, we literally haven't had much of a break. And, like, every aspect of our lives, like, not just academic, not just personal, not just work, all of them are on full fucking run. Like, there's no... Because sometimes, like, school's just, like being a lot, and then everything else is fine. But no, like, nothing is fine. Everything is a lot. Nothing is just chill.
Are we not going to keep the drinking frame?
Or should we?
I mean, if you're going to
We're sharing it.
Well, yeah, we're sharing it. We only had budget for 1 drink.
Our podcast hasn't made us enough money yet to both get our own drink.
No, literally. When, like, I remember in high school for some reason, like, asking my mom stuff about, like, her high school experience, like, whatever, just to, like, compare them, you know? I was like, oh, what about this? And, like, I remember, like, her not being able to remember, like, stuff that I could not believe she forgot. I was like, how did you, like, this isn't, like, this is such basic, like, big event. I was like, how did you forget this?
Right.
But literally today, in this very moment, I'm like, this is how, I was thinking about, like, what childhood memories are being erased to, like, be able to be filled with the stuff that I'm learning right now. Like, they are actively, like, getting rid of my childhood to fill it with this. I was like, this is how you don't remember high school.
We lost his name.
We threw out his name. Yeah, that's it. That's where I get it.
That's so, well, actually, like, I think, like, that's where me and Gia have always been, like, crossed at, because Gia will be like, how do you not remember that? And I'm like, she was asking me about the FAFSA, what I filled out on the FAFSA, and I was like, I don't.
Well, you seem like you have a pretty bad memory in general.
That is true.
Drew talks about it a lot.
Does he? What does he say?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
I wish I was kidding, but I've never noticed him talk about it much. 3, 2.
Welcome to Crisis with Kiera
and Isis.
Okay, so the name of the episode is Welcome Home.
Mm-hmm. Similar to last episode, we were talking about welcome to college. Once you kind of get into college, it's the first time you're creating your own space. Even if you have to share it with, like, 8 different monkeys, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, this is your own space. And you kind of have to start deciding, like, what you want that space to look like and how it's going to represent you. So we're going to kind of go into my home and Kiera's home and how we kind of got there and what it kind of feels like for everybody, or at least to us.
Yes. Welcome to our homes. Well, so basically, the past couple of years and, like, having my own space and then also, you know, working with others in specific spaces like the sorority. Well, if you didn't know, literally, Isis is my big in our sorority. So
that part.
That's how we literally met.
Mm-hmm. Join Greek life.
Yeah, like my freshman year.
And
my very first semester here, like within the first month, Isis was... We were in the same sorority, and then she became my big, and we've been in love ever since.
Yeah, and that just, like, I think, like, wonderful things come from it, and it's shaped a lot of, like, who we all are, and especially who we are in our relationship is thanks to that.
Yeah, and big is essentially just, like, big sister in the sorority.
Your mentor through your pledging process.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck, how I got... Oh, so, right, curating spaces. I realize that I deeply care about ambiance and my, like, happiness and, like, creative spirit. And, like, my spirit is, like, very affected by ambiance. So, naturally, when I have guests at my home, I deeply care about the ambiance. And I would like to talk about good versus bad ambiance. So, the definition of ambiance is the character and atmosphere of a place. And it goes into like a lot of your five senses. And I think creates like a dynamic and like interesting relationship with your senses and excites them and stimulates them. I would say, and this is like specific to college, or it's kind of a joke, but it's more than, you know, a strip of red LED lights hung up. Okay, so in order to identify good ambiance, we have to identify terrible ambiance. And the epitome of terrible ambiance.
Epitone or epitome?
Epitome. I said epitome.
I wasn't trying to correct you.
No,
you're
good.
I just wasn't sure. I was like, am I saying that?
Yeah. No, it's epitome. Where souls go to die. The Office. You know her. You don't love her.
She makes you cry.
The Office. Okay, so what I like to call is Zombieance. It seems like it took inspiration from a cave. Number one, harsh, fluorescent, white lighting. Garbage. Terrible. There's usually a lack of windows, so you're lacking natural light. Two, it's decorated in colors of grays and beiges. Terrible. Awful. So uninspiring. Soul-crushing. It's the spirit of sick people. It's the color of death. It's sad. No. Bad. No good. Number three, it's stuffy, it's dry, it's stale, and it smells like spaghetti. And four, it's cold. And five, it's quiet usually, and it's harsh. And, like, we're talking about auditorily here. It's quiet, it's harsh, it's tense, and it's censored. And all of these create a very uncomfortable, just terrible experience. And I cannot believe that we subject, like, so many adults to work in spaces like this. It's like insane.
Every day.
How uninspiring and soul-crushing it must be. And I am so sorry.
The other thing that like sucks about it is like it's a choice. Compared to like outside, you have no choice on what the weather looks like. You have no choice on like what season it is. But like you fully have a choice. Like people who design buildings, people who decorate buildings, people who pick buildings to work out of, like these decision makers choose misery.
Yeah, which is like obviously a lot of it has to do with like cost, but there's no way that it costs such a significant amount that you can't like add color.
No shape. It's all square.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's
all
angular.
Edges. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, okay, yes. Understandably costs, but it's like you spend practically a third of your day and like life in this space, and if it like makes you want to freaking jump out the window like that, why have we like as society like accepted that as like sufficient and normal? It's so significant to like your well-being and like creativity and productivity and, like, everything. It matters. Like, it matters.
Well, isn't it the other thing is, like, people automatically try to spruce up the place. They'll bring in their own decorations, photos of their family. And it's like...
Right. Your natural instinct, your literally instinct is to bring in anything like that makes you feel more comfortable.
Your human need is like, I need color and squish. Yeah.
Texture. Okay. So a lot of things that I do in my spaces that makes me happy and I feel like is counteracting the zombieance of the office is number one, dealing with lighting, lamps everywhere. Oh my God.
Lots of lamps.
Lamps everywhere. I have a lamp like by my kitchen sink, like in my kitchen, and like doing my dishes with just the lamp on at night. Amazing. And like the countertops, like you can't see like scratches or like scuffs or like stains. So it just like mutes all of the like funk.
Some backstories needed. Kiera has an older home. I don't even
Dude,
know.
all the appliances are original and like from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Ancient.
Ancient.
And
anything that was white is now slightly yellow.
Yeah.
This isn't because of Kiera, it's just what she has. And so
Yeah.
a lot of the difference in mine and Kiera's style you're going to learn is purely like us utilizing our spaces as they come and doing with what we can. Like some things we're not happy about, but that's what we have. So that's what we're going to work with. And that's what you're going to learn in college or just in your young adulthood. It's not going to be what you want. It's never going to be what you want. Even if you work so hard to have it be what you want and spend as much money as you can afford to make it what you want, it will not be. So you just have to accept and fix. Or just
you can't
fluff.
You cannot force an aesthetic into a space it's not meant for. You have to work with the space.
Yes.
You can't work against it.
No.
You have to work with it. So accepting where you are and then just like leaning into like whatever kind of goes with that. Obviously, there is still plenty of room wherever you are for your own like personal preferences, but definitely working with the space is huge. Anyways, so lamps, and then I would say yellow light bulbs. Definitely change out your white light bulbs for yellow light bulbs. In my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely like the warmer. You could also do neutral. It just needs to not be white.
Yeah.
Like the white.
Especially the white overhead fluorescent lighting.
I think another big thing is like dimmable lights or color changing lights.
Yeah. I really care about like how the lighting changes throughout the day. You know, it affects your sleep and your mood and like everything. And so when it's like dark outside, I don't want bright ass fluorescent lighting as if the sun is in my home. Like absolutely not. Because, you know, the sunset gradually goes down, you know, and your brain processes that it's going into nighttime and it's, you know, getting close to sleepy time. I want that also happening in my house.
Right. No, I agree because like you've been to my house. It's either really bright.
Yeah.
Or extremely dark. It's almost impossible to get, like, not iridescent, fluorescent, hospital brightness and like surgery room brightness. So, yeah, lighting's pivotal to
and
like
like
you as a
adjustable lighting, especially, which is why lamps are great.
Because the more you have, the less
more
you can
adjustable,
turn on.
And especially since they're not like overhead. And then if you can turn off your overhead lighting and just have lamps going, great. Great. Obviously, you know, we're in college. We're obviously succumbed to strips of LED lights. I mean, come on.
We both have them.
We both have them.
And we like them.
Yeah, I love them. And like having the ability to change the color of your space is insane. Like,
yeah, automatic. Red goes on, and I
the visceral reaction to red LED lights.
Red LED lights have like caused me like lifelong, like it's like when you have to pee and then you step into the bathroom and now you have to pee so much more. That's what red LED lights do. Like I already felt danger before I went wherever I was going, and then I see the red LED lights and I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of this home.
Yeah, red is dead.
Red is dead. If you're a frat boy and you're still using red,
it's also like, but at this point, it's like cliche.
It's so
it's
aggressive.
Like you put on red and it's like a joke. Like you know, what I mean? Like it's just a joke. Like it's so funny.
It's just so aggressive.
Anyways, I think orange LEDs are the best.
Yeah.
The best neutral. I have orange going 24/7. I have my orange LEDs on.
Yeah, I usually have my orange unless I'm going for a mood. If I'm going for a mood, I'm hitting that purple. I like the purple. I like the... See, there's just sometimes you just don't get the color you're looking for. You know, when you're stuck between like green and like green. And you're like, but I just want green. Moving on.
Anyways, 2 color. Inspiring color. I would just say, if anything, just like go bold. Like, who cares? Obviously, if you're in a space where you can't paint, this is, like, less obvious. If you can paint, absolutely paint. Who wants 4 white walls? But I would say if you can't paint, I would say an easy way to just, like, color a wall is with tapestries. Even if you don't love that, like, they look cheap sometimes and, like, you know, kind of bad. But just for sheer just amount of color payoff, you get so worth it, in my opinion. I have pink cow print on my walls.
Well, I think that was a step of your pink. You started with the cow
Yeah.
print, and then from there, now everything else has become pink
yeah,
slowly.
yeah.
And then for me, I cannot paint my wall. So I
Uh-huh.
have furniture, and my furniture is going to start becoming more and more colorful.
Yeah. Because it's like, so I had my space originally, and I was like, I want it to be mature. I want it to be like clean and like classy and natural wood, like just not painted wood. But I like thrift a lot of my stuff. And literally after a while, my house just started looking like a thrift store.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not working. It was just so dusty and grandma-y. And I realized, I was like, what? Like, I was just like, I realized, I don't know if the next stage of life, like, I'll live alone. I know for a fact that this stage of life, I'll be living alone. And I have, like, almost complete freedom to make this look however the heck I want. Also, it's the best time to make the worst interior design decisions. So I was like, I have my whole life, and like when I'm making adult money to like curate a space of nice natural fibers and like expensive things that'll last a really long time and are timeless pieces that I can invest in. This is not the time for that. Like, because I can't afford any of that right now, so I might as well, like, it's all cheap, so it might as well just be freaking my imaginations, like my
Your
heart's
Barbie house.
desire, my Barbie house. So that's exactly what I did. I went in almost like after I had that realization, I almost instantly shifted gears into Barbie land, and now I have an entirely pink living room and a blue kitchen.
Yeah, you do.
And it's everything. I love it.
So the candles, the smells.
The smells, a humidifier and incense. They also both create a visual, which is really cool, of like smoke and like water vapor, which is fun. Very subtle, but it adds.
Well, like, yeah, having smoke in the room, just smoke in general, we all, as humans, have like an appeal to it for whatever reason. So I like incense. Culturally, some people are like, nah, not my thing. Like, I've had people like come into my house and be like, and I'm like, and
it smells like a campfire.
Yeah, but then you kind of come to a point where you don't care. And because like I go into people's houses, I'm like, ew, why the fuck does it smell like pumpkin spice latte in here?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you just gotta accept that you're gonna rock with whatever you like.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
But
and then also
candles,
when you're in it and long enough, it goes away. Like you forget whatever you smelled.
I don't love really strong incense. And I don't burn them super often, but I do like them every once in a while.
See, I cook a lot, so my house always smells like food. So the only thing to like repel chicken curry in the air is an incense.
Yeah. Which also like cooking or baking is also a great way to scent your house.
If that's what you're going for.
That's what you're going for. And I hate Febreze. I just want that to be known. I fucking hate Febreze.
She also hates car incense.
Oh, God. Car fresheners, just air fresheners in general, they literally hurt. They hurt.
She like comes into my car and
every
like, she
single
pulls
time
out every
I
car
pull
incense.
Out the ones,
and, like,
the ones in the air vents. I mean, they're all terrible, but oh my God.
And she like looks unwell.
Dude, they literally make me sick. Like, oh God.
I haven't bought a new one because she keeps taking the shit out.
Amazing. Yeah. Anyways, I love, for texture and warmth, blankets, rugs, carpet. I have carpet, so I feel like that naturally makes the space like less cold. And just like cloth in general.
Fabrics.
Is pleasing. It's comfortable. It's comforting. It's cozy. It's warm.
I agree.
Good times. And then I usually turn on music if I have guests coming over. I feel like the pinnacle of ambiance. This might be like hyperbolic, but fireplace for your home, please. Oh my God.
I've never met someone on this earth who fireplace for home so much. Like most people are like Netflix and chill, and Kiera's like fireplace for your home and chill. Like it's like a personality trait at this point.
It's so good.
And it's not like a personality trait that like comes and go. It's been there since I've met her.
It's funny because it's like, it is kind of tacky because it's a video of a fireplace. But, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, there's just something about it that's so good. Also, I think because we're in college and it's, like, there's room to be tacky and it's, like, we obviously, who has a fireplace right now? I actually do have a fireplace, but that's not the point. So, fireplace for your home is great. And it's just, like, and it's funny. It also makes people laugh, like, and they forget that it exists, and it's just good.
Yeah.
But if it's not, but obviously in the summertime, fireplace for your home isn't really the vibe. When it's warm out, no, that's not what you need.
Feels uncomfortable.
So I do also like a fish tank video, or if you literally just look up psychedelic visuals on YouTube, very cool. Good times. Makes everybody happy. Anyways, I would say these are like the strengths of my home, and I would say it's great for altered states of mind and gossip, cuddles, and creativity. I think it's a space that kind of heightens what you're feeling, which is why I think a big weakness of coming to my place is that if you're hungry or unwell, I don't do a great job of helping those. I'm not very mom-like naturally, so I also don't like to... Oh, God. My snack game is non-existent. Terrible.
No, hold on, because I'm going to talk shit right now because I love snacks. Kiera the other day, she's like, why don't you ever want to come to my place anymore? And I just realized because I always need something and I always need something to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bitch, I do not want another sparkling water.
You're kind of going to starve. It's pretty sad. I don't know. It's definitely something I want to work on. Like, I'm not well-rounded in that capacity.
I remember I was hungry and she had cottage cheese mixed with goat cheese. And I was like, I'm fine. And now she was like enjoying the fuck out of it. She was like so in good. There.
It was a blueberry goat cheese and it was delicious.
You would think that's like a 5-course meal.
Well, first of all, groceries are expensive. I don't snack and I live alone. So it's hard to keep on hand if you're not constantly going through them, because then I feel like they're
just wasted.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it'll get a little bit easier as I get older and probably have a family. And anyways, that's me. I think we should go into Isis's now. So as far as strengths and weaknesses go, Isis, Mommy Isis, is amazing if you are unwell. Isis, our oldest sibling, definitely a mom. I'm the youngest, so I think that's honestly a lot what draws me to her is I went to college and I was like, Mama. And she absolutely provided that for me, and it was amazing. She's fed me more times than I can count. Snacks, tea, blankets. She's cracking open fruits. She's making tea. She's brewing coffee. If you need a hug, like a really good hug, go to her place.
Well, like tea's important.
It is. Also, a lot of people, we don't culturally drink tea, so right. Being in a home that is very tea forward is awesome because it's like you're like, tea's so good. Like,
why don't we do this more?
But we're just not used to it. Anyways, are you thirsty? Bitch. Bitch. Oh my God. If you literally pull out a menu, like her fridge half stocked with like at least 4 different beverages. Kiera has water, sparkling water, and whole milk.
Oh yeah. A lot of whole milk.
And that's it. But not Isis. So it's literally like the Polar Express in like the hot chocolate scene. Or like the hot chocolate like musical number. And like, hot, hot, hot. We got it. Hot, hot, hot. We got it. Yeah, that's Isis. It's great. It's amazing. And it's so natural for her. I have to invite you over for food to probably ever be involved. You know, with like girlfriends and stuff, I'll be like, should we get some snacks? Like I'll like we have to like preemptively talk about it. You can like show up to Isis and she'll just like be cracking open watermelons or like making dinner. She'll be like, are you hungry? Yeah, usually she's hungry too, so that helps a lot too. Or I don't think if you were ever like, I'm hungry, she would be like, I'm okay.
I don't think I could.
Never.
I feel like I have to get up. And I think I got that from my Armenian grandmother. This is like something very normal for Armenians. The mother or the grandmother doesn't sit down.
Yeah.
Like, you're, like, begging them to, like, take a seat. And I always thought it was really annoying as a kid. I was like, bro, just come eat. And now I'm like, you don't want to. Like, you just don't. Like, you're having so much fulfillment by cutting open a goddamn watermelon. They're like, why would I sit? I could just be making this juicier.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Which made me realize, I thought about this like a lot, like our different hosting styles. We have very different hosting styles.
Insane.
I like to put in the effort like before anyone is there.
Yeah.
And I don't like to be like fiddling very much like while guests are there. I like to be like just focused on like enjoying the company. And kind of like experiencing it like with them. But you're very comfortable with like doing things while people are there. And like all the like details I put into my space are like almost, it's half, because I think I'm just like an artistic like person and also love validation from other people in that regard. So it's constantly like for a viewer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I love putting in the details for people to then come see it and like have a reaction. That's
right.
like that's the fun for me.
Yeah, like you're like behind the curtain kind of person.
Exactly.
And so for me, like if I think about,
I like to have a musical with wings where you can't see what's happening backstage and all you see is like what I want you to see.
Right. See, and then for me, I have no desire of prepping without presents. Like, I want presents. I want people. And I think it makes it more fun for me. And also, it's a skill. Like, I cook a lot more than you do. So I don't have to give it my focus. Like, if I was cooking something very special or very curated, I would probably want to prep beforehand.
Like the borscht.
Like the borscht. Like, that's something that takes a lot of time and thought. And, like, I care. Sure. But when I'm making like chicken fried rice or like some kind of curry, like I don't care if you're there, if you're watching, it doesn't make a difference. It actually makes it more pleasant for me because otherwise I'm sitting in the kitchen cooking by myself and it's not like stimulating. It's just like it's a chore at that point. When people are there, this is not a chore. This is a show.
Yeah. Now you're getting friend time and doing something
that I have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like that's really nice. I would say like the other thing, like a really big difference between the style of your hosting and the style of my hosting is I am like an engaged host and Kiera's a disengaged host. So this is the thing. Like you can go to Kiera's house and she can like walk upstairs and take a nap and you will just not notice. But like I feel like as soon as I disengage from my guests, like
it's like tense.
Yeah, like it's like as if like someone's just stopped the music. And I've always actually kind of like been jealous of that with Kiera because like I feel like I'm like sometimes I want to like just go outside and take a walk or sometimes I just want to like lay down for a minute. I feel like kind of like I can't Irish exit.
Yeah.
Like I cannot.
Yeah, I love like creating like a space where like the people are either like engaged enough with each other, like what's I've like created to where I can then just like float around in a way and like enjoy it, not do something, go over here, and it's like not affecting
anything.
They can still have the good time that they came here for.
Yeah, and like another thing, like you're saying, like you really like to play music or have like you're like also likely to have like cartoons on or a movie on, and that's like something I cannot do. Like speaking of like the senses, like sound for you is a very big thing. Like when you come over, like you're the one that plays music. I very rarely am playing music. And like same thing, you'll fill noise with just like white noise of like TV or movies. And for me, like the only thing that fills my space in terms of sound is socialization. So I can have a lot of people over and they could be doing like little group things, but like the sound is human made actively. I don't have just like sound, which is something that like is really nice to have because I think that's why again you get to be a little bit more like aloof. Like if I play my music, I'm stuck. Like my shuffle's not good enough to just leave. Like you have playlists curate. Like you like to curate sound, and that's much different than what I can provide because I do not curate sound. So I don't even have a playlist applicable for this.
Right. Yeah, I'm a very theatrical person. It's so silly to think about it as a production, but it's like practically a freaking production. It's like, what can I do?
Ow.
Music, lights,
camera.
Ready, go.
Yeah, and then for me, I was going to say in terms of sound, like, fucking forget about that. And then in terms of smell, I was cooking and it smells like food. I was cooking and now I'm not and it smells like incense or incense. Like the smells in my house are directly attributed to like what's going on. My stuff is so like sterile that it doesn't allow room.
Well, you're in a literally brand spanking new apartment.
Yeah.
With all new appliances, with marble countertops, with I think they're laminate floors. So, it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot brighter, it's a lot newer.
It's real square.
It's real square.
It's almost like an office. So basically what I have is an office and I had to create it.
But it's still but it's nice because it's like, it's like, it's fresh. And fresh.
I picked my unit purely 100% without failure based upon the brightness. That was my number one factor. Like, how much light does this apartment get?
Yeah.
And that was, like, the only thing I considered for the most part. Like, 2 bedrooms, and does it have light?
Yeah. I would say literally, well, it's weird because we have the same problem with windows of, like, we only have light coming from one wall, which is so frustrating. Oh, my goodness. I would say that's, like, my biggest complaint about my place is, like, the lack of ability for lighting.
And then the reason why, even though we're both south facing, even though we both only have light coming from one place, the reason mine is brighter is literally just because I have like higher ceilings. So basically I have office adjacent is what I was given. So Kiera was given old and I was given office adjacent, and she
old and dusty,
and she decided to like lean into the colors and painting it pink. And basically what I've leaned into is like, okay, it can stay angular, it can stay gray, but what I'm doing instead is I'm throwing in color. So like my kitchen chairs are orange and my like bar stools are green, and I'm just adding, and I have like basketball historical figure painting things. And Kiera's apartment is like groovy, and I have lava lamps to add groove. Like it isn't naturally groovy. So basically, like in terms of like sight, it's very bright, it's very clear, it's very like clutterless. Oh, this is a big one. You feel like you could touch anything in Kiera's apartment. Mm-hmm. Even though Kiera is not someone who wants you touching all of her shit, you feel like you can go and touch it.
Well, there's I put out like toys. I literally like put out toys.
Yeah.
That I do want you to touch.
Right.
So in like my sophomore year or something, I found like a shake weight at a Goodwill, and I was like, this is so funny, and just like wanted it to like be out to like conversation pieces.
For example, your lamp is not something you want people touching, but it almost looks like it can be touched.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I can go grab it because it has the glasses on it, too. I feel like I can grab it, just shake it. Uh-huh. Like, the only thing that's stopping me from doing that is, like, having a fucking frontal cortex.
Very playful.
Yeah, it's very, like, it just wants to be touched.
Yeah.
And in my apartment, I also have toys. I also have things that want to be touched, but no. Nobody is touching my shit.
No, like, it looks like not like a museum, but that more vibe of, like, it looks like things to be looked at.
Yeah.
And like, it looks like they're nice.
Right, but they're
not plastic.
Like, I have a Slinky, and Kiera's the only person that ever touches it.
I broke it.
Yeah, but it's 100, and we had the lightsaber, which Kiera also broke. But my point is like, we have toys and things that are meant to be touched.
And Isis doesn't care if you touch her shit.
No, I'm literally like, no part of me gives people like I shouldn't. So then it's like, but my space naturally is like says don't touch.
Yeah.
Like I have a shrine and I feel like people stay like 3 feet away from it. Like it's insane.
Well, and she has like giant like crystals, like shit that looks like you just don't you don't even want to like be in the realm of breaking it.
But like I also have like a bookcase, and normal people walk up to a bookcase and like will pull a book out and look at it. I have literally seen people go up to my bookcase and like tilt their head, and I'm like, you can touch it. Like, they're just books. But, like, I don't know what it is, but people are, like, not touching this shit.
But it's the whole vibe of the space is what creates that.
That, even when there are things that are 100% touchable.
Oh, also, I love keeping musical instruments around as, like, decor.
Yes.
/ functional decor.
I don't. Not that I don't like it. Like, I'd have a piano, like a grand piano.
But
but see, that's the difference. Kiera has a keyboard. I would rather nothing until I could have a grand piano.
Yeah.
So it's like, I will have one eventually.
Yeah.
It's just also going to be a piano no one wants to touch.
Right. I had, like, bongos hanging from the wall, which in no way looked good, but it's just
fun.
It's just fun.
Yeah. Man. Grand piano. Goals. The other thing is Kiera's house is like, if she provided it, you'd feel like you could go like crack a beer and like pour it in a solo cup from like up here, like, And then my house, it feels like you like need to wait till someone serves you a cocktail.
Yeah. No, Isis has a cocktail house.
Yeah.
I have...
She's damn near a keg house, like a keg that you'd be comfortable putting on the carpet.
It's more like a stoner house.
Yeah, definitely.
But... Yeah.
No, what would you call it?
A stoner den.
A stoner den?
The Kiera shack is a stoner den, even though I'm not a stoner. But I love the vibes. I mean, I would say it's a cultural thing, really. And yeah, you have a cocktail house.
Yes, and I would say like my biggest weaknesses in terms of my apartment is like it's cozy in experience, not cozy in existence. Kiera's house is cozy in existence. If you're sick, and maybe not so much in experience. But like other than that, you're having a really good time if you're there. But in my place,
even if I'm not there.
Yeah, if you're not there, you're fine. Like you are, it's great.
Yeah.
But in my place, it's like if I'm not there, you probably feel like the only reason my home feels like home is probably because I'm there.
Yeah.
Which sucks because that's not what I'm trying to do, but it just is.
No, it's actually so funny when we were talking about this, like what we realized like about our spaces and what they say about us. You're such more of like a naturally like warm and like inviting person, and your space is the complete opposite. But it doesn't matter because you feel the energy like
radiating
from you. And like for my space, I have a harder time conveying that with like my language and body language like as a person, and so I have to create it in my space. Like I have to have my space speak that for me,
right?
Otherwise, if we like swapped and I had your space, I feel like no one would ever want to come over or enjoy their time.
Kiera's house gives college, and mine gives somebody here has a job.
Yeah, it gives college and just like artist funk,
right?
Town. And yours is like mature city.
Penthouse suite.
Cocktail. Black stainless steel.
No, I was going to say in general, Kiera is the creativist one.
Yeah.
and it's not that I'm not creative. It's just that part of her education is in the arts. Like art is like she is an artist. Yeah. And I am.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's practically a skill that I've just
have curated.
Developed.
And so, for example, like I'm very creative, but in a completely like in a completely like analytical way.
Right.
So
it's just not. It's not like the stereotypical. Because you think of like creative and you immediately think of like art. But there's so much more to be.
Well, that's why like for just a side note, like STEM, like them thinking about STEM and turning it to STEAM, like where art is a fundamental part of STEM is really important because it's like a lot of the solutions that you need creativity, art, even design.
Exactly.
Like who wants an ugly car? Nobody. You want a nice design. So it's like you should be able to take your skills, your hard skills, and find artistic ways to like yada yada yada. And like, you know, talking is my art. And so it's like I guess excel.
Right. I mean, everyone's creative.
Everyone just doesn't believe it.
Yeah.
So I would never get a PVC pipe and make it a didgeridoo. That's nice.
That is nice.
That's creative. Another thing that we have in common is our bedrooms are not reflective of our home.
No. Oh,
those
absolutely. So different.
They might as well be closets.
So different. Also, such a different purpose. Which, like, respecting the purpose of a room, huge as well. Bedroom is for sleep. You think I want pink cow print as I'm falling asleep to look at? Or, like, freaking whack-ass mirrors? No. Absolutely not.
Sleep.
Peace. Sleep.
There's nothing. Especially if you don't invest in the way it looks, it's so easy to just go to sleep.
Right.
Like when you have no expectations, no anything, you're like I have black sheets and a black comforter and a black pillow and no extra pillows. Do you know how annoying it was when I had decorative pillows on my bed? Do you know how every night I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with these?
Why do you think I want to fall asleep at work? No, I don't work in an office, but if I did.
Something that I think is important is everyone doesn't want guests over. Like, everyone is not trying to host, but
that's true.
Something that's very important for yourself, especially, like if we're talking about this young adulthood, like, for example, when you're in the dorms, you eat, sleep, study, socialize all in the same space, and it really becomes hard to, like, associate well with that. So for example, like naturally, if you like snack a lot while you watch movies, either when you're watching a movie or sitting on your couch, you're going to want to snack. So for example, it's really important for me to never socialize in my room, never hang out in my room, because I want when I go in there for my brain to be like, okay, it's bedtime. So even if you're like, okay, well, I don't really care about hosting people, you should still care about the ambiance of your space. Because at the end of the day, it's like you're living in it and it is going to affect you. And you can create something that will positively affect what you want to do. So, for example, I used to never be a homebody. I hate being at home historically. But my current apartment, I've just kind of curated a space that I enjoy being in. And like I've made these vibes that I didn't have before. So now a part of me actually just wants to sit at home and just exist in my own home. And the only thing that was lacking was me creating these kinds of vibes.
And that's like a huge goal with like having a home, and especially like getting older and like buying a home and like having a family and creating a space that you want to be in. It shouldn't be a place that you feel like you need to like escape and like get out of the house.
Yeah. No, that's facts right there, because
and it starts now.
Right.
It starts as soon as you
have your own space.
Yeah.
And like it sucks for people who are adults or young adults that don't have their own space, because then you're like kind of controlless of the space, which I have sympathy for you. But there are still ways for you to, even in your own, like in the dorms, for example, like, you know, I just chose that I was going to do homework at school. Like, I'm just not doing it at home. And so, like, for example, if you're at home and you're living at home, like, you could easily just, homework is not being done in your bedroom, even if you have a desk. Forget about it. Just like, and like, same thing, you could get LED lights for your room. Like, it's not, you could find ways to hit those vibes that you're looking for. And just by simply changing the colors of your LED lights changes the entire vibe. Like,
and rearranging furniture.
Oh, do that all the time.
Oh, and feng shui.
Yeah, consider that.
Yeah. I mean, feng shui also like efficiency in your space. I'm constantly reassessing efficiency in my home.
Yeah. I mean, and then storage. Oh, my God. That one's so big. If you feel like your place is constantly cluttered, you probably have too many things. One, throw shit away. Stop buying garbage. Like, our consumerism is so... I don't even want to get started. I had to go reorganize my entire closet this week because I felt like it was just never what I needed it to be.
Yeah.
And just sheerly, we got rid of so much shit by, like, actually being like, what is the purpose of the space? What do we want it to be? And then, like, making that. Mm-hmm. Like, those are important things. So, like, you always have control, and starting now is so much easier because you don't want to be, like, 30. You don't want to be getting married.
Yeah.
Consolidating a space from 2 individual people to, like, 1 home and just it being terrible. Like, if me and Kiera moved in together, we'd probably be able to make it work. But
yeah. And I think we both have...
We'd pretty good. We'd have a swag.
It's your time. Yo, yeah, it'd be
we'd have cool. We'd have a
when
Mojo
we have a
dojo.
studio... Oh my God.
But we're going to have a Mojo Dojo fucking Casa house when we get a studio. Like, it's going to be all those things.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Okay. But it's your time to develop your opinion, including, like, interior design.
And it's going to change.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's things when I was a freshman that I had everything as, like, blue and gray as a freshman. Like, so blue, so gray. But I was scared of color.
Yeah. I think it's much better to, like, go really bold and then be like, that was terrible. Yeah. I don't know. Get weird. Who cares?
Yeah. You can undo it later.
You can undo it. It's stressful when you're broke and, like, you're trying.
But being broke, having limitations is where true creativity comes. So being broke is a limitation. Living with roommates is a limitation. All these things are limitations, and it'll help you become more creative and more concise in what you're looking for.
You'll literally get smarter.
Yeah, like your brain will be like, ooh,
creative solutions.
And because of that, you'll actually, when you have freedom, when you have space, when you have money, you'll actually be so much more efficient than someone who didn't.
Innovation that inspires. Is that what it is? I know there's like some good.
There's some saying like that.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay.
You know?
Well, first things first, for what you need to do is you need to go home or go into your space and ask yourself and start thinking about the things that you like and do not like. And it does not have to change to something you do like. It just needs to change to something different. So you don't like what you see? You don't like your furniture? You don't have to change your furniture. Change the direction of your furniture. And like those little things will eventually help you figure out like what is most important. Anyways, wrap up. What's your place? What are your 3 big points?
Gossip, cuddles, and creativity.
And sex.
And sex.
My place.
But that's the cuddles. Canoodling.
Canoodling.
That's why that was thrown in there. To be less crass.
Mine is socializing, eating, and laughing. And that's a wrap. Thanks for listening to Crisis with Kiera and Isis.
Bye, bitches.